Okay, in this lesson, we're going to be needing a few materials. We're going to be going over some basic stitching. So what you'll need is two arm's length pieces of string. Okay, any color is fine. All right, so I got one. I've got two. You're going to need 2 pieces of scrap. Honestly, this is a pretty big scrap. You just need like something, a little small piece of fabric, okay, and a little snip off. Okay, so first things first is the needle that you're going to be using. All right, let me see if I can change this light a little bit better. A little dark in here. There we go. Okay, so the needle. All right. There we go. A little dark over here. I don't know why. Yeah, that works. All right, so the eye of the needle is right here, is where you actually put in the thread, all right? Best way to do this is you can actually just take this, cut it, and put it in. But if you have anything that's frayed like this, okay, that's a little bit off, what you can do is lick your fingers and just twist it, okay? And then it just makes it a little bit more cleaner up. Thread through. Now, you don't want it to have like a long tail. You just want a short tail, and you're going to tie it once. Okay, so just once. Now at the other end, and also this stuff, we're gonna double knot it so it doesn't come through. You don't want to leave it empty, because when you pull it through, all the way through, it will pop through. Okay, so knotting it is very simple. You're making a loop. You're going around the back and through, just like a regular knot. Okay, you're gonna do it again. The way I'm doing this, I'm going under. Now there's no right or wrong way to do this. Okay. Just gotta take it slow so the knot ends up on the correct spot. Okay, here we go. So first thing that we're gonna learn about this, okay, is when you sew from the back forward, okay? So all the messy stuff is on the back side. So we're gonna pull this through. Now we're gonna create what's called a running stitch. Running stitch are little even stitches, okay? You don't want large ones. Right? If you are sewing something on, you want nice and even things, or if you are sewing something closed or whatever, it would need to be nice and even, okay? Because you don't want stuffing coming out, and you don't want to be able to move, okay? So small and even. Now, for just practice, I would suggest you just do 4 in a row. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 4. There we go. Now you can do some decorative ones where you do long stitches. Okay, so if I came up and I went right a long stitch, that's more of a decorative one. All right. You can also overlap. Let's say you wanted to come up over here and cross over, make little, X's. That's absolutely fine. But this is pretty much your simple running stitch. Okay, now we're going to go straight over to another stitch. I'm not going to stop now because I'm going to go over knots in a little bit. So on the back, it's going to look really messy, which is fine. All right, next one, you need this. All right, so this next stitch looks similar to the running stitch, but they're going a different way. This is called a hemming stitch, okay, where you come through both double layers and go into a single layer. Now I just want you to do 3 of these. You don't need to go crazy and go all over, just fine. 1 through the double layer, a single layer, and same thing with the running stitch. You want to make sure that it is, small and even and close. All right. Now, as I said, if you want it to be decorative, oops, notice my needle came off, which is okay. That's fine, but for now it should be like this. Okay, so this is actually a great teachable moment right here on the fact that this came off. Let's say now the reason I have that it's only tied once on here on the end is because if you need to fix a stitch, so let's say this stitch was wrong, I can actually go in and pull it out, okay? But I'm not going to. There we go. So that's that. So it makes it real easy to fix. If you also double knot it here, sometimes it becomes stuck when you're trying to go through the fabric, which is not very cool, because then you got to cut it off and try again. All right, last stitch that we're going to go over is called a whip stitch, okay? This tends to be for when you're closing up things, okay? So let's say like this is the, I don't know, the side of a bag that I've created, okay? So I fold this down, or you can fold anywhere, it doesn't matter. And these are two pieces of fabric that are next to each other. Okay, now I know a lot of people would like to do the running stitch, but the running stitch, when you go around the edge, it doesn't allow you to have a lot of space to fill things in. This stitch allows you to put more stuffing in, okay? So just like this one where we kind of had to go around, it's going to go around as well. This is called a whip stitch because it whips around. Now this is the only stitch where you go from the top and you go around. The other ones you have to go up, down, up, down. This one you go around and around, kind of like a spiral notebook. Small, tightly close stitches is what you need for this, okay? If you have large stitching for this, it's not going to work because you're going to have holes, all right? So even if this was, let's say, a bag and you weren't stuffing it, you still don't want any open holes. Okay? All right, so that concludes this portion, okay, of just going over stitches. You're going to have like loose and it's okay. We're going to go over knots in the next video. All right, so real quick, okay, running stitch, hemming stitch, whip stitch, okay, and they're nice and even, tend to be small unless they're decorative, okay, and that's pretty much all you need to know.